Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we are ready. Where can I see the slides? Can we see it as well? Nice. Okay. So hello everyone. Welcome to our final presentation about the Blockchain Demonstrator web application that we built in the previous month. In this presentation, we would like to share with you the following 5 points. They are our initial situation that we start with, our goals for this project, our findings, things that we implemented, and an advice for future development of this application, and a demo. In the next slide. Yes. In the start, we had in the initial situation, we had only, I think we skipped a slide. Oh no, okay, that's it. Yeah, in the start, we had only an Excel sheet to work with. All the information was in one place. It was the only way to play this game through Excel sheet. So we tried to gather all the information we can to play the game, understand it, make it into user story and stuff we can translate into code, and then we start working on the program. So herefore, we have made a plan of actions. Plan of actions is a really important thing to start with, because without the plan of action, it will become very difficult to carry out an assignment. It can also lead to misunderstandings with the development team. So to avoid this, this misunderstanding and stuff, we describe everything, the plan, the documents that we are going to use and work, the subjects, the products, the activity that we are going to do, and the working methods in this plan of actions. Next slide.
All right. Then on to our goal. The goal we had was to make a web application that will host a beer game within which different types of supply chain can be explained. So for instance, a DLT, which is the blockchain we wanted to explain to the players. Also choose from UProfide and a whole bunch of other options. And through this game, you'll see the benefits or maybe downsides of each supply chain for your current actor. This web application is used inside of workshops, and through explanation and playing the game, we hope to make the attendees at the workshop understand how a blockchain can affect their business. Then on to our findings. To play the game and make it in real time, make it communicate in real time, so players don't have to constantly refresh their browser. We used a method of a library called SignalR, which is supported by Microsoft themselves. This was very great and easy to use. It will do a lot of the setting up, do it automatically. So it took a lot of work out of our hands. Same goes for the automatic database. We used Entity Framework, which is a code-first designer of the database. So simply saying when we create a new class or make a new model, it will automatically create a new database for us and update the old one. So this will take make sure it doesn't require as much manual labor of us. And on to the last is the hosting. We tried using the GitHub Actions in unison with Docker to make sure that when new code gets pushed to the GitHub repository, it will automatically be pushed onto the server and run inside a container. So there's little to no manual labor that has to be done to make the server run.
Yes, and then onto the advice. For future development cycles and groups, we want to give out 3 points. The first one of which is the game tuning, because one of the things that we couldn't fully get done was to be able to fully tune the game to where it works efficiently. You can also see it in the picture if you click. There you go. See with the grabs. Ooh, you click the grab, yeah. On the left one, you could see that the balance of the player is going down, but he still is making a lot of profit. So that's one of the things that we want to go into further. The second one is something that we saw ourselves with co-hosting, was to start simple. We started way too advanced at the beginning, which we saw that we could do better by first starting simple. So that's an advice for future groups, to maybe take things easier at the beginning and then start to go more advanced. And as the last point of advice I want to give is to map our formats and topics before the development begins. And in our project, we saw that with the all you need to know document that you can see here as well. We found that it was very important actually later on, because it helped us a lot. So that's definitely a point to take in. On to the next slide. The next slide, I want to show a demo. There will be three things that will be shown, which is setting up the site, playing the video game, and observing the video game. This demo is supposed to show you a bit of a feel of how it feels to set up a game and be able to actually play it and also observe it. So if you start the video, at the bottom, I think there's a there you go. All right, first what we're doing here is we're making an admin account, and here we're going to create a game master and a game to be able to play the game. So you can see here that I click on the game master and I can easily add a game with him. You can see the view game button is not openable yet because the people aren't in the game yet. So that's what I'm going to do next by going for each player. I'm just going to join the game to the home page, and I'm going to give them a name for each one. So I'm going to do this 4 times. And when all players have joined, you can see that the loading screen will go away and the game will start. On the 3rd player and the 4th player left. What I'm going to do afterwards is I'm going to open up the game master function where he can observe the game while the other people are playing it. So I'll be minimizing this window a bit and opening a new one. And there I click on the view game button where you can see the graphs and all of the data that's played out during the game. And on the other screen, I'll just have the game page open, and I'll just send an order. And when it's sent, you can see that it automatically updates the graphs page as well. Now, if I send another order, you can see this more prominently. If you look on the graphs page, that updates automatically as well. So this way, the player can play the game, and also the game has to compute them while they're playing it. It's a very important functionality to have for the workshop. That also concludes pretty much everything that we want to talk about in the demo. So thank you for listening to our presentation. If we go back to the presentation, then the only thing that we have left is questions, if there are any.
Thank you very much, guys. Do we have questions from online? We do not. Do we have questions from the audience? We do not. Well, as we are just on time, thank you very much for your time and effort and for your great results. I believe this is the end, right? We can give applauses. This is very well deserved. Well, and thank you then for showing up. I know